click on that one. Here we go. Technology nowadays. Now we are ready. Welcome to SpaceLink TV. We are back with some more anomaly hunting on Mars. As you can see, we are looking at a gigapan from Neville Thompson. That's a very, very interesting gigapan. And I have been gone through it yesterday. And there's so many anomalies in it. And before we start on that one, I will say we're going to go to opportunity later and have a look at David Gannett's dome that he found so many years ago. I am still fascinated of it because my wife and I went to Egypt and actually took a picture in the desert that looked exactly like the picture from David Gannett's Mars dome. So we're going to look into that also. But let's get started with MSL 3378 to 79. This is amazing because, as I said, we were looking at it earlier yesterday. And this one up here looks like a step pyramid. I'm like, step pyramid. Let's have a deeper look into it. Because I think that this butte here is way bigger than we see it. And to me, it kind of resembles some of the pyramids we saw in Egypt when we went there. And we had two pyramids less than 200 meters from us, from the hotel we lived. That was not very big, but kind of like this. So I'm wondering about the size of this. So I always ask if I can. I asked Neville Thompson, he made this gigapan here, say, hey, Nev, how big is this butte, this mount here? And he sent me a little picture back about 35 meters on this picture. So 35 meters. Now we know what we have to deal with in size, how we can compare sizes. So we know that from one side to about over here is about 35 meters. So this is not a small mount. And as I said before, I think it resembles a step pyramid. And I think it goes deeper, way deeper than what we are looking at here. I'm just gonna get my chat up here on my phone here because it keeps blinking and I need to get used to here. Hello, Eric, and welcome to the live stream here. We are on Mars. Let's look into it. Let's look into it because this is very interesting. The first thing I went up and looked straight at was this area up here. As you can see, if you follow my arrow here and see the line around here, it looks like a dome shape, something. I wouldn't say door opening, but something that's added later. I think there was an entrance behind here, to be honest, and I think this is a way in. And before you say, oh, he's crazy, he's talking about entrances on Mars and doorways, blah, blah, blah. Yes, I do, because this gigapan is amazing. I think this is some kind of opening that goes up. If you look at the lines on the rocks, you can see some of them fit, but when you look down here, the lines don't fit anymore. It's not really going to the side as well. Look at the lines on the rocks here. They don't fit with the lines on the side of the rock. So this tells me it's not the same rock. It's not the same block. Of course, it could have been falling down a little bit, but if you look up here, you've got one line that matched here, and that's basically the only black line here that matches. On the other side, the rest doesn't match. So either one of the sides has shrunken or grown. So these parts are added separately. This block here is added, and this block here is added. If you look on the side over here, there's one line here that matches. None of the rest of the lines are matching to the rocks nearby. So these are definitely artificial, and I think we got something in here. And this one wouldn't be more than a meter and a meter and a half wide. I think something like that. I find it very, very interesting. So I was talking about openings and doorways, and this gigapan is basically full of them. They are everywhere. Let's start down here. And let's have a look at this area here, because you'll be amazed when I'm gonna zoom in. Let's start at the end and go down here. This is a kind of a weird construction. It looks kind of suspicious to me. You see all these like outcrops here. It looks kind of odd and out of place. You got some angles over here, 90-degree angles over here. It doesn't really fit in. It's kind of odd. You got again over here in the corner 90-degree angles again, and it looks to me like there's a door frame or something behind here. This is not very big. Would be the image we're looking at from one side to another here would be about 4 or 5 meters maximum. So this is not very big what we're looking at, but if you keep looking on the side of this wall, you will see all these small holes, and it's getting better and better and better. We can go even deeper and look again. Again, if you look in here, you see there's a square, looks like a square hole to me in the background, just barely covered by a rock that's standing on the outside and actually pointing inwards, maybe to block the hole up, who knows. And again, look at the shape of the rocks nearby, and something is inside that rock. I don't know what to say, guys, but I'll leave it to you to decide what we're looking at. Let's have a look again. There's kind of like dark area here that to me could look like an entrance, a hole in to the inside of this area. You got around something anomaly up here on top of what looks like a tiny little hole again. And you can keep on going and going and going. See, now we are down in that area I like the most, because if you go to places like Petra, you will know how they have used the rock to carve into it, carve the outside and the inside. That's amazing, and it kind of reminds me of a bit about Petra when you look at, again, here you see this square frame I was talking about before. And again, there's like an opening here. It's crazy, guys. It's crazy, guys, and it looks like there's a kind of walkway in here. So is this area full of holes and entrances? I tell you something, there is way more holes up here on the so-called pyramid. But before I'm gonna zoom in on the pyramid again, I'm just gonna zoom out so you can get an idea about the size of it. As I said in the beginning, this butte is 35 meters long. So it's pretty big, and it's not a small little thing. And as I said before, I think this looks to me like a step pyramid, and we are only seeing the 3 top layers, and there's probably 3 or 4 more layers underneath this. So this could be huge, a huge anomaly we are looking at here. Going back into the anomaly, there are so many places where you will see square blocks on the back, and where it looks like you can see you got some right here. See, square blocks built up. It's a wall we are looking at that is covered with rock and plaster on the outside. Look again, look carefully. I'm gonna zoom in here again. The closest we can get is this, and I don't want to get too close, it's getting too blurry, but look, square blocks, square cuts, and they are placed equally. This is not a rock that is cracked and has created square block. This is man-made, and it's covered up and it's covered over in plaster and rocks. Talking about square blocks, and again over here you can see what I mean. You got square blocks all over the place. This is definitely a construction that is covered over with more blocks and rocks. And what is this up here? It looks like some kind of I was just about to say little missile, but it's not. It looks like some kind of handle, a tool or something. This is a really good gigapan, and I will recommend you all to go in and have a look at it. There are so many weird shapes. You got 90-degree angles again here, and a smooth surface on top. This is so amazing to sit and dig deeper into. But one of the things that amazed me the most are all these square blocks that has been put together to create a construction underneath. It's clear to see. For me, it's no secret there's life on Mars. For me, it's definitely. Oh, thank you. I'm having coffee served here from my beautiful wife. Do you want to say hi to our viewers here?
Hello.
We are looking on Gigapan.
There's no cameras on, is there?
There's a little tiny
okay.
camera on here, so you can see yourself here in the corner.
I'm in my morning attire.
Morning. So
where are you?
I am on Mars, and I'm looking at that little so-called step pyramid, and we are looking at
Is that one
all
we
them
looked at the other evening?
square blocks here that kind of like looks like
You said they look
building,
like doorways.
a building, and there are doorways in it, like all the way around.
Oh, I could spend hours on that one.
Yeah,
Good luck.
Yeah, thank you. We've been brought coffee, and good luck, guys. So thank you to my lovely wife. Let's see, we are now crawling up the pyramid, and I want to find some more of all these square blocks. And just talking about it, whoops, here we come. Do you guys see what I mean? You got square blocks here, nicely put together all the way. Guys, come on, wake up. Mars was inhabited. You are sitting and looking at it now, guys. This is a building. This is some kind of extraordinary find. Every evidence in tools and stuff is gone. You can't find broken windows, shattered glass, tools anymore. That's gone. The only thing you see is the rocks, the building. So stop looking for small men and tools and books lying around. This is the evidence of an ancient civilization on Mars, because nature didn't create these blocks and put them together and plastered them over with a substance that looks like rock. This is so man-made or artificial constructed as it can be. This is exactly the same we were looking at when we went to Saqqara. There is a pyramid at Saqqara, there's a few, and one of them has these blocks that was visible where the outer part of the pyramid was gone, the smooth part that makes it a pyramid smooth, and it was just blocks underneath. And next to it, where the smooth part was still there, you could see exactly the same as we're looking at here. Building blocks, big building blocks, creating a construction underneath the rocks, underneath this mound. And I don't think it's a mound. I think it's a pyramid that has collected dust and sandstorm and winds and erosions over millions, and not millions, that's thousands of years. I think that is what we're looking at. Speaking of entrances, as we did before, there's another great one here. And again, a square corner. We don't see the side because of this rock that stands out here. Yeah, Eric, it's definitely not natural. I can only agree with you. So I hope people will see the video and share it on social medias, because this is a great gigapan for anomaly hunters. Just look at all this stuff. And again, I'm looking around for something that stands out, that is like not in its place and looks different. And what that is square blocks and rocks that forms a construction. You have some stuff down here again, a triangular shape that could be natural. Of course, it couldn't have the same surface and structures as the rocks underneath. But if they were put together in one rock, would it be looking different? I think so, because you see everything is shattered here. And again, we're talking square blocks here. You can see a chunk has been taken out here. This surface is actually smooth. You can see where it has been carved out. It's amazing. And what I don't understand is, how can humanity not understand it? What is it that they don't see? Is it because I, as an anomaly hunter or co-founder of SpaceLink TV and co-founder of UFA and other organizations, pay Facebook groups and pages, is because when I show it, I don't have a title? Would it be different if an astronomer that's used to looking at a planet come up and looked at a gigapan and say, yeah, that looks construction? He's not a builder, he's not an engineer. and he wouldn't know what he was talking about. He's an astronomer. But if you give him a title, which he's worth, be more worth than my words, this is the problem we are facing on this planet. We got so much evidence of life on Mars. We got so much evidence of constructions that are clearly there and covered up for over hundreds or thousands of years of sandstorms, wind and erosions. And again, you got some blocks here again, you see in the back, small square blocks, they're all straight carved. And you can see it underneath here. What you're looking at on the outside, it looks like some kind of cloud. We're hovering up in front of it. It's not. It's the old plaster that is falling off. It's totally crazy that people won't accept the facts because those that brings the facts don't have a title. It's like taking a picture of a giraffe and say, here is a giraffe, and the guy would look at you and say, that's not a giraffe, and by the way, you're not working in a zoo, so how can you know it's a giraffe? It's like, it's not rocket science, guys. Come on. So what we need to do, guys, is to share the video, share the evidence, and you can go on to Marsmoonspace group on Facebook and find all the videos and the pictures I've done in there as well, and share them, because there are some good pictures. There are some really, really good pictures. And again, this was the first area I was talking about on the gigaplane. I think this is an amazing little dome that stands out because, as I said before, look at the lines here. They don't match. First, you think, oh, this rock probably just dropped a little bit, but you see the top one matches. There's none other that matches here. None of the other lines are matching. It's falling deeper and deeper down. The distance is getting longer and longer. So either the rock has grown or the other rock has shrunken, I don't know. And these lines are not matching to the side as well. If you follow them and look, there's one line matching. That's the only line matching. None of the other lines are matching the surrounding rocks. So how is that, and what are we looking at here? Are we looking at an opening? Because if this is a kind of a bigger opening that goes up like you see in movies, or if you look at some of the military cargo planes where the nose goes up, this is kind of what I'm imagining. You have a little doorway over here to the left, and you can actually see stairs on the side here. There are stairs, there are steps leading up to it. Remember, this is thousands and thousands of years old. Remember when we first start digging in the pyramid at the pyramids in the beginning, in middle of the 1800s, beginning of the 1900s. This was the same we were looking at. Things that were covered up completely in sand and dust and came off the sand when they start digging. This is an archaeological site that hasn't been dug up yet or cleared up. You're looking at what looks to me like an entrance next to this, what I call the opening. I don't know what it is yet humanity can understand. We're looking at a construction so much in decay that you only see small parts of it that you can recognize, like the stairs here. There were probably stairs all the way down, but you don't see that because it's decayed. It's gone. We're looking at a minimal amount of evidence of what once was there. Feel free to comment on it here on YouTube. We are live, and I would love to go into a little chat about Mars if you want to. Speaking about doorways again, here it is. You can see a square frame that kind of like looks dark, like there is an entrance in there or something. And over here, see, this is a weird one. I was looking at that one yesterday because I'm trying to understand it. You got these two black lines going up, and you got something going from one line to another. So I am thinking, what is this? And it took me a little while because you see all this white up here, that's the so-called, I call it plaster, visible plaster. And it's the same way, this is plaster on the rock. There's nothing leaning on two pins or pillars or whatever it looks like here. But it's a trick of the eye, and we have to be aware of that all the time. But again, while I was looking at that, I realized that there was a square frame here. And that's kind of like, it's like somebody just thought, oh, I can use this material for one tile. I'm going to make one tile this dimension and take it with me. So how is this happening, guys? This is not natural. It looks like somebody just took a chunk out of the rock, and nature wouldn't do that. I don't think so. Or was something mounted up here, and this is actually to grip it or stabilize whatever stood on top. I don't know, but it's definitely interesting. Anyway, we got some new viewers. Welcome back to SpaceLink Tv. We are live. We are looking on the latest Gigapan from Curiosity rover uploaded by Neville Thompson. I've got to see if I can find a little hoodie here. Give me 2 seconds, guys. Because I am getting a little bit cold here. Hey, that's better. Now we can continue. We have adapted to Mars. I was speaking about this little doorway up here that looks like some kind of doorway, but what are all these small white patterns on the smooth surface? It looks to me like it got a plain smooth surface, but all these patterns on top of it, what are all these? Because they look to me like when we went into Idfu Temple and then Dara, all over the wall, science hieroglyph things. It could be the picture, of course, that is playing us a trick, but when you look deeper into it, it actually looks like it's there on the rock itself, all these small white lines that looks like patterns. It does look like patterns. It's actually a good screenshot. I'm just gonna make a screenshot here for later, guys. Yeah, and none of this is natural, obviously. That's me to your head saying that. Yeah, none of this is natural. I can only agree with you on that. It's so artificial. Look at this one over here. It took me a little while to figure this one out, because if you zoom out, it looks like it's a water stream beam coming up, like when you use a jet washer or something. It actually looks like it. It looks like there's a little light in the bottom. If you look here, it took me a little while to figure it out, but it's pretty cool. Let's go closer and look it up. So when you're looking closer at it, what looks like the water stream first, jet stream first, it's actually not water or jet stream, and it's actually not light. It's the back, and again, of a square, tall, upright standing surface that is reflecting the sun right here. And again, why is this object upright standing like that? It's square. It's like a column that's broken over. You see the top of it up here, like it's broken. It took me a little while to figure it out. These are questions that I would like to ask you guys out there. So please comment here on YouTube. We are still live. We are going on it. And again, we talked about all these dark areas that look like small square entrances. Now notice we've been on this Gigapan for what, about 20-25 minutes now, and let me just zoom out again, because what we've been looking at so far is only this. But to show you the area, I will zoom out and show you the full Gigapan, because this is amazing. This is really, really amazing. This is by Neville Thompson. So we spent so much time just on this little area over here, and I can go on for hours. So I'm gonna spend 5 more minutes on this so-called step pyramid, as I call it, because I want to have a look at the layers. To zoom out again and see the layers here. One layer here, the next layer here. So it seems like we've got a bottom layer, middle layer, and the top layer. What I want to look at is all them visible rocks, because I was talking about rocks that looks like they're carved and placed on a purpose. Look at this one here. How, if you ask a geologist, you have a big rock, it's like 60-80 centimeters long, like this. How do you get two rocks inside it like this? How is that natural? And if you look at the rock again, I was talking about plaster. I was talking about concrete, cement, plastering the outside. Look closer at it. You can see the underneath of it here. All this you are looking at on the top of this rock is plaster. It's added after. There is something underneath it, guys, because nature don't create a big rock like that and creates rocks inside the rocks. It actually looks like they can be taken in or out like a window or an opening. This is absolutely not natural. So guys, keep on sharing the video and keep on looking at Mars pictures. We'll post them on Marsmoonspace group and on Facebook and SpaceLink TV page on Facebook. And I also post them on my private profile, Thomas Mikey Jensen, Schröder Jensen, on Facebook, where you can find them also. We're looking at the layers at the bottom layer now. And again, all these straight cuts, you see them here again. And I said, it's not unnatural that rocks can cut straight. You've got a straight cut here. The unnatural thing is, how do you get the surface so smooth as it is now? You see it on top? This is a smooth surface, 90-degree angle, clear 90-degree angle. There was rocks on top of this also. They're probably falling out, lying around there somewhere. We're talking about these layers that is in what I call the step pyramid on Mars. So what do you guys think? Do you guys think we could be looking at a step pyramid on Mars that still are halfway buried in the sand of Mars? I think we are. And again, you got these straight cuts here with rocks placed on top. Straight cuts here, rocks placed on top. You got a perfectly block here with a block on top. And this is what I'm saying, guys. This is artificial created. You got all these rocks here carefully placed on top with rocks, bigger rocks carefully placed on top. You see over here it's all like blown down or falling apart. But the evidence is so clear to see, and I can feel my heartbeat going higher and higher and higher because I get ecstatic when I see this, because I know that there is life up there, or there's still life up there. And I know that the area that curiosity is in, the area perseverance is in, the area opportunity was in, and spirit was in, all these areas are areas of ancient interest. We are only seeing less than a percent of the surface of Mars with the rovers. So the last 99% of what is on Mars, we have no clues. We have the satellite images, which I am throwing myself over every day to look at, and I'll see if I can bring some satellite images up later here also. But you can't go so close with the satellite images. The ones I download from NASA's JP2 archive, you can sometimes be lucky and get some that resolve objects from 25 centimeters, which means that if a person was standing on the ground and the satellite took a picture, you will be able to see one pixel that would have the same color as my hair. You wouldn't be able to see the person. But this is how close you can get on the Martian surface. You would be able to see a car. You would be able to see a house and a construction. No problem. That would be no problem. But you can't go so close on satellite images that you can see people or details on constructions, unfortunately. But it gives us a clue of what is down there. We're still looking at the bottom layer of this pyramid. Let me just look up here. Eric says, at the very least, we are looking at blocks. Yeah, I totally agree with you. And this is what I'm saying, Eric, that this is artificial created structures that has been standing on the Martian surface as leftovers for thousands and thousands of years. And I bet you that our pyramids, when they were excavated, was looking exactly like this. Remember, the swings were buried, only the head was on top. And when I'm saying that, look at this, one layer, two layer, three layer on top. I could easily imagine me 4 or 5 more layers on the bottom. So we don't really know how much there could be in this area. And this is what I'm saying about finding objects objects would be buried probably meters below the sand, like tools that has been used in ancient time. I don't think we will find it on the actual surface unless we are very, very lucky in some areas with some certain wind condition, aerial conditions that would benefit the objects from decaying. So we ain't gonna find that kind of objects. We ain't gonna find shovels. We ain't gonna find technology, laser weapons, or anything. That's all gone. It just dissolves and decayed. Eric says, "Look how flat the ground is in front of it." Yeah, and that's true. That was where we were just before. It was well observed. But these are the things. All these smooth surfaces you still can see, and especially on the satellite images. Why are they so silky smooth when the rest is totally covered in rock? There gotta be a closer explanation to it. Of course, we have sand deserts. That would be an explanation, but there gotta be more to it. To all these surfaces we're looking at from satellite images and smooth surfaces we see on rocks from Curiosity rover and Perseverance. We were still looking at the first layer, and this is what I mean. Look how big the block now has become. This block has clearly crumbled to pieces. This block is still standing as one bigger piece, and you can see there's a block actually laying in front of it, covering the one corner also. This is what I would call corner block, foundation blocks, and you see that at the outside of the outskirt of the pyramid construction. So I definitely think we got something artificial going on here. Let's have a look at the next layer, guys, because it's the same, and I want to point it out. We got the second layer up here. This is where we were before. You see all these rocks, and I say it again, square blocks piled up. This is the evidence, but what happens every time you show the evidence or post the evidence is people say, oh, there's another Mars picture. They're not really interested. I think it's so amazing. I saw a picture the other day posted earlier by a person named Shamus Green. Coffee break. And David Gannett had posted it as well, clearly showing a bolt on the ground and an artificially a machine carved object, either casted or laser cut. That for me was like, wow, I got this feeling of whoa, and you post it and it's exploding for a day or two and it's forgotten again. What happened to life on Mars? What happened to the evidence that we posted? It's gone. No, it's not. It's still up on social medias, but people refuse to talk about it because it's shaking and changing their beliefs in their own existence. And some people are not really ready for it yet. Of course, it would be good if the bigger news channel like BBC, Fox News, or Sky News, England, or some of all the CNN would bring some of it up, but they won't because they know it is disturbing the human mind. And I can keep anomaly hunting here for years and years and years. I can even post a picture of an if I could find one, a UFO on Mars, as we have. People are still looking at it and say, wow, that's a good picture. But where is the excitement from, whoa, we actually have evidence of life on another planet? That excitement don't exist in our society. It's like, that's just another picture. Yeah. And we are them crazy guys who are hunting here for anomalies, and people are laughing at us. Well, I'll tell you one thing out there, guys. It ain't gonna be very long because it can't be held a secret. When we have this UFO disclosure coming, which is already going on, and we have so many videos going on, so many statements going on, when humanity starts to accept it in their mind, people will be looking back and say, what was it they said about Mars? All those lunatics, what was it they said? They said there was life on Mars, and we laughed at them when they showed us their picture. I bet you guys this is a step pyramid, and if it was excavated or seen, I know Curiosity is gonna go around it and have pictures from the other side, and I can't wait to see it from the other side. I might get disappointed, I might get super excited, but as it looks like right now, 35 meters wide, that looks like the three top layers of a step pyramid to me, guys. Feel free to comment here on YouTube and have a look with me. I'm still on the Curiosity image, and to be honest, I spent so much time on that step pyramid now that I actually haven't been on the other side of this gigapan yet. So let's do it together, guys, and have a little look and see what's coming up here. Here's some nice rocks that stands out a little bit, but what are we looking at here? Is this just some normal rocks? It looks like normal rocks. It does look like normal rocks to me, and it probably is. But again, if you look closer, you got a 90-degree angle over here that seems to continue. You got something. What's that on the ground here? It looks like some sticks. It looks actually laughing a little bit at it, but it looks like a dead body that's totally shrinking and dried out. I know it's not, because it will be less than 50 meters long, centimeters, sorry. So it's not something like that. But if you look closer at it, you see what I mean with like legs and arms on the side, and something up here maybe once was a head or a face. I don't want to go into that, guys, because that's a little bit stretching it too much. But saying that people are seeing different things on these gigapans, and I can look at one thing and say that looks like something, and the next hunter will come and look at it and say, whoa, that looks like something completely different to him. So this is the way it works here. Let's see what we have around here. We got some rocks and rocks and rocks all over the place. But I got some few other things ready for you guys also, because I said I want to look into that opportunity image with the dome on. David Kenneth. We're still looking at Curiosity, and again, there's something that looks like a ring here. How is that natural if you look at all the surrounding? I'll tell you what, it's not natural. And that's why you're seeing things around here that stands out. But again, remember, we're looking at rocks. We are just looking at rocks. But these rocks have history. Just look at the pyramid we just looked at, because I don't really believe that all of it is just rocks. If you get into the theory of everything that is constructed by rocks is being plastered over to look like a giant rock from the outside, when you look into all the gigapans where you can find hollow rocks, rocks that are carved in half, we even find a pilar, open pilar that was hollow inside and square. When you start to realize that, you'll see and look different on the rocks when you are anomaly hunting on Mars. And again, here's another weird thing. Is that a trick of the imagination? Because it looks like it's something, but when we look deeper, it's sand in the background going up here, and there's a rock in the front. So this one and this one is not connected, but it looks like it on a distance. See, I was just about to find something that wasn't there. So you gotta be awake when you're looking at these gigapans. Here's another thing lying there. First, I would say it's the sand you're looking at. But if that's the sand, then the sand is smooth and very thin layered and sticking a little bit up in the air. That's not sand. And again, we're talking about smooth surfaces and flat ground. There's so much in it, guys. And again, I think it looks like we could have some kind of entranceway from this side. So I can't wait for Curiosity to go around and take some more pictures. And then I don't know if you see the same as I see here, because you're thinking, it's full of rock. Yeah, it is full of rocks, absolutely no doubt. But notice all these here in one line, guys, all the way up here. Let's go further. See, in a straight line. Now, goddamn effing hell, tell me that's natural. Oh yeah, Mother Nature came by and just made a like 20-meter long line of rocks, and you can even see here it continues bit by bit. Guys, have a look at it, guys. I'll leave a link to the Gigapan in the video description as soon as the live stream is over, and you can have a look at it for yourself. That line of rocks there, come on, guys. That's not Mother Nature. Mother Nature was busy doing a lot of other stuff that day. That was somebody else. And I can feel the excitement now because, as I said before, I haven't been on this part of the Gigapan yet because I spent so much time on the step pyramid. And again, what is this? A square, flat, thingy thing sticking up here. Black on one side, light on the other side. Come on, guys, that's not natural. What do you guys think we're looking at here? Leave me a comment in the comment box and say that this block number 2, we call it number 2. If you want to ask a question or tell you what you think this number 2 is, use the comment box on YouTube here. We're still going live, so we're going through it together, guys. I am amazed about this line of rock here. It doesn't look natural, but here is the catch. Because now I'm sitting and looking at this line of rock, and I'm like, whoa, this is so natural. I forget to look at the rest of the background. So, looking up here, is that a stone circle? It does look like to me that we have a stone circle on the hill here. So don't get focused on one thing, look at the whole area. This is what I'm saying again. I can spend hours and hours on these Gigapan just going through them all. Let me just see if I can share the link here because I'm on screen share here, so everything I do reflects. No, I cannot do that now. I have to do that on the phone. I'll do that in a minute, guys. Ha 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 ha. Okay, okay, guys. I love geometry. This is what I'm dying for. When I'm looking at satellite images, I'm looking at geometry because that's what is revealing ancient civilization geometry. When I'm looking at curiosity images, I am looking at geometry. This, guys, have a look at this. I just got to screenshot it now here because this is gonna go out. Look at this. It's like what we see in Peru, Bolivia, Mexico, all the ancient side up there, the Aztec side. This rock is made to fit into this rock, guys. Whoa, double whoa, guys. Have a look at this. Have a look at that. And this is what I'm saying. When your brain can comprehend that you can build every construction in rock and cover it with rock plaster so you can see it from above or the surrounding, then you start believing in that we have ancient civilizations on Mars that have been there for thousands and thousands of years. They had technology to carve a block of rock that fit just into that. Look, it's even carved to fit that round block underneath. Guys, Pumapunku, Machu Picchu, over again on Mars. This is an amazing picture. This is so clear that this is carved out, and I don't know what to say. If you look up here, you're looking at what are we looking at? All these markings. It looks like drawings. It looks like something. Rocks are not rocks, and I don't know what word to put on my hollow rock theory or my plaster rock theory. But I would love people to get into my understanding that rocks are not necessarily rocks. And I give you another good example of why rocks are not necessarily rocks. I have had turtle pond, so I went into this pet store that had all these things. What do they have at the pet store? They had artificial rocks. made from foam, made from all kinds of materials, depending on if you want to use them inside or outside. And you could buy normal rocks as well. But the funny thing is that all the artificial rocks they have in the shop is looking exactly like the rocks are on Mars. So how can this rock here not have the same structure and surface like these rocks here? Why have this one not the same structure like the rest? Because the outside is plastered. Go down, check it out, go into a pet store, see if you can find some artificial rocks, and you can even get them in blocks that fits together. That's technology, but we're not using very high technology to create artificial rocks for pet purposes or pond purposes. We're using simple tools as knives and a saw and probably a hoover to take all that foam off the floor afterwards or whatever they use. So get into that theory that what we are looking at here is only the surface, what's underneath the surface, because half of it is plastered up. This is a great example of what I'm talking about. Please comment on it, guys. And again, see the straight lines, rocks placed on top in a straight line. You've got a straight line here. You've got rocks with straight surface, bottoms and tops laying on top of each other, guys. This is not natural. So let's talk about the theory again about the rocks or the stones underneath it, the constructions underneath it being plastered over. Let's go back to the pyramid. This is amazing. I gotta do a screenshot of this one before I go, because I gotta remember this. I have to do a picture on Marsmoonspace group on Facebook for this one here. Take snapshot, and there's probably others that has been here as well also. So I'm not the only one I can see already now that has been looking at it. That's great. That means it's gonna come out. And I always write TD, that stands for Thomas and Dolly, Dolly and Thomas. So that's how I do it. So you can find my snapshots as well in the bottom down here on the Gigapan. If you want to have a look at the snapshot I just did, let's take it to the end. And here it is, snapped by Team Mikey. So we can always get back to that one again. Back up to full screen again. What's that object up here? Is that an object, or is it actually the rock that has a hole in it, and you can see the blue skies in the background or light shining through it? Can you tell me, guys, because I can't quite see it as it is here. To me it looks like it's a rock in the back that actually got a hole in it, so the sun shines through, the light comes through. Let me get the snapshot over here so we get a full screen again. What's that on the side lying there? You see, and again, it's a little bit unclear, but if you look at the sun reflection on it, it looks like it's a bit more smooth and round and like cylindrical, but again cone shaped at the bottom. It doesn't look right to me. See, have a look at the top. There's a rock on the top here. This one looks natural to me, but again I think it's just plastered. But this one don't look natural to me. What is this, and why is it on top? Let me tell you what I think it is. Because I'm sorry about my throat. If you look into the ancient theory of life on Mars, you will find out and you will read that there were civilizations on Mars that had technology that we as human beings today in 2022 still don't understand. They had the technology to carve rocks like it was butter. That's one thing. To do that, you need some kind of heat, and to create heat, you need some kind of conduction, electricity. You need plus and minus poles to do something together, and you basically need power, electricity. So how do you create that? That's something we don't know. I'm from 1977. I'm grown up with Star Wars, so in my head I was thinking, oh, a lightsaber like they have in Star Wars. You see them stick it through that metal shield door and burning a hole into it so they can come through the door. But that's just because I'm from 77. This is what I'm growing up with. So I'm thinking something like laser like. has carved these things out here. So the object up here, it actually looks that elongated long shape that's white around it. I think this object was able to turn around because it is on the perfect spot to get a western view of the whole area. So I think this one here is some kind of outpost, and I definitely think that it is related to this one over here being a step pyramid. Look at it, guys. Put two and two together. Feel free to comment here on comment box on YouTube. This one is amazing, and this is further away, so I would estimate this one to be between 20-25 meters from here to here. So again, it's not a small object, it's 3 buses sizes long. So I would estimate this rock here actually to be pretty big. So this is definitely not natural. And okay, I promise to take you to opportunity as well. Coffee time. Ooh, it's getting cold, that's my own fault. So, for you guys that haven't been looking much at Opportunity, Curiosity, and Perseverance rover image, I will recommend you this site. And the name doesn't pop up, of course, and of course I forgot. Analyst Notebook, that was what I was about to say. I forgot the name of it. Analyst Notebook, if you want to look at Spirit and Opportunity and Elder Curiosity rover images. It have it all. We remember the dome on Mars that David Garnett pointed out. I think it was 2014, and I remember proudly standing with him at the Mars conference in 2016 and talking about the dome again. Analyst Notebook, you go up in this little box here, type in the soul number you want, and I know, of course, it was from 4073, so I already got it up here. You choose the mosaics down here. The mosaics is basically all the data products put together in one big, so you can search on it. You click on it, and you will view it in highest possible resolution. So we are going to view it in image viewer. So this is where we take it up, and we're going to remove this one. So this is basically working a little bit like GigaPan, but it's not GigaPan. This is on Analyst Notebooks, and it has nothing to do with GigaPan. But you scroll the same way and search the same way on the picture as you do on the GigaPan. You can't make snapshots like you can on the GigaPan. You can already see it here in the background, and I got 3 different mosaic images up that are different in resolution and clearance, and we're going to have a look at them all 3. But this is the one we just took up now. And this is the raw image from Opportunity. And we've got this dome-shaped object here in the back. And there's no doubt you can tell me that there's not a dome-shaped object. When you look closer to it, I can't go any closer, but maybe I can do a little bit of magic here. No, I can't do that. Unfortunately, this is the closest we get on the Analyst Notebook. I could take you into photo software and enlarge it further. But it is a bit away in the distance, and I think we had some measuring on it saying about 15 to 18 meters wide. I could be wrong on that. I haven't backed it up yet, but normally my measurements on it has been pretty close every time. So I'll say about 12 to 15 meters wide. So we're talking the sports model of Bob Lazar's UFO size object. We are talking dome size. When you look at a dome on a church or a mosque, is it really that, or is it something else we are looking at on Mars here? And again, this is an old picture from Opportunity, and I'll show you. we got 3 images up from 3 different mosaic pictures. Here's another mosaic picture in a different resolution. And again, before, I'm not even going to go over here, or I'm not even going to go to this one. I'm lying, I am. But we're looking at the dome, and here's another resolution of it. Check this out, guys. This dome here is not natural. 12 to 15 meters wide in the distance on top of the hill. And as David Gannett pointed out in his video, there is like this kind of zigzag path here. That's that's interesting, guys. That's really, really interesting. Let's get the third picture of opportunity up here. From opportunity, not of opportunity. So we've got 3 different mosaics in 3 different resolutions, and this one is a good resolution, but it ain't taking us as close as the 2 others are. I think this was the one I used for my images, the one you saw in the thumbnail for my video. But it is amazing. Mars is amazing. Then there was the other little object down here. It looks like a rock. Is it just a rock? I don't know. If you guys have an idea of it, let me know. Eric is saying, look how flat. No, that was an old one. I thought it was a new message. Please feel free to comment here on YouTube while we are live. But there was something in the background that I wanted to have a look at also. You see the background here? See all the background here? It doesn't look like there's a line of rocks. It looks like more you have some kind of vegetation standing there. I'm not saying it is, but it definitely looks special. It's something out of place. This object down here looks a bit out of place to me. It could be a rock. Remember, we don't have it in colors as for what I know. And there's another little object down here that seems kind of out of place, but I haven't really looked into that either, because every time I am on this mosaic, I end up at David Gannett's dome here, which is amazing. All credit to him for that. Mars X 3D is the place where you can find David and his dome and all the other stuff from Opportunity. So guys, we've been looking into Curiosity rover today. And tomorrow morning, I want to bring up a new picture. Also from Curiosity rover. And I want to talk about the nuts and bolts that was found on Mars from the Curiosity rover. It's an older picture. It's from 4 years after it landed on Mars. So it's got to be from about 2016, 15, 16. We're going to look into that on our next live tomorrow. So stay tuned for tomorrow's live. Let me just see if I can. That was TikTok. That was absolutely not what I wanted to click on. That was this one here. Let me just get me up here. Yeah. So guys, cool. Thank you for staying here with me today on an awesome little gigapan hunt. It was a little bit of an here and now idea. No preparations done at all. That's the first time I've ever done that. But I guarantee you all, we are back tomorrow with a new live at about the same time. It will be about 10 o'clock in the morning, European time, Central European time. So stay tuned. We're going to look into the nuts and bolts and artificial created anomalies on Mars tomorrow. You can participate in the chat. I'm there to read up, and I'm looking forward to hear from you guys. So thank you for watching, and until we see us again, take care. Bye.